Hey everyone, welcome to Cross the Ditch and See. My name is Laura and I'm so glad you're here today. So about 4 days ago, we got our first official freeze here in eastern North Carolina, and I got all the beds covered. As you saw in a previous video, they're still covered. The only thing I uncovered were the little radishes right there because I had a bed sheet on those. And got the big garden covered as well. So I've had to work a lot the past few days and haven't had a chance to check on the garden aside from the things I could easily see, like the sweet peas or the sugar peas, which they still taste phenomenal. So I'm going to take you with me as I go to uncover the gardens and check on the veggies and see how they're doing. Looks like the big garden fared pretty well after its first freeze. Even after the several days of heavy rain we had, I'm still convinced most of my beet seeds washed out because there's nothing here. I've got a seedling here and there, but they're not even in the row that I initially dug. So I'm pretty convinced those beets washed out. The broccoli's doing good. I went ahead and chopped up some of the weeds, going down into some of the cabbage. I'm gonna get over there, get all those weeds chopped. That broccoli is doing really good. And check out the garlic. The garlic is doing phenomenal. So, get to work chopping these weeds. I love right after the little twinkle lights come on. I love to stand out here and just look at the garden. It's almost magical. And the camera don't do it justice because it adjusts the light and the brightness, but it's actually very dark outside right now. It's so pretty to me. So tonight, we are going to have a salad with our supper. And with that salad, we want to have some fresh sugar peas to top it with. So I'm gonna come out here. I did a terrible job picking that one. I'm gonna come out here and pick some of these sugar peas to top our salad with. There's a lot up here, but several of them are little. So I'm gonna try to pick the ones that are a little bit bigger before they fill out completely. And weirdly enough, I'm sticking them in my pocket because I forgot to bring a bowl out. But hey, we use whatever works. If you like salads and you like really fresh ingredients on salads, I encourage you to grow sugar peas. I will say it's probably, at least where I live, in Zone 8A in eastern North Carolina, it's a little late to really get them planted, but you can plant them in the spring. Oh no, I dropped one. There it is. You can plant these in the spring because they do like cool weather and they will do well. I just about dropped another one. But these bean plants have been frozen. I was a little rushed the other morning to get to work, but I wanted to check on them real quick, so I ran out here. There was frost on the leaves. The plants were very obviously frozen from the 28-degree temperatures that we had. But as you can tell, they're still doing really well. They have blossoms getting ready to form some more peas for us. So they do really well. They are frost hardy little plants. But I'm gonna keep picking peas so we can have them on our salad for tonight. Missed a bunch right here. And these things taste so good. So I encourage you to grow these. When you start planting your spring garden, you can grow these. And you can grow these in a container garden. You can. Just have you like a little trellis or something for them to grow up. I think there are some bush varieties out there as well. I'm trying to pull this one through the fence. I think there's some bush varieties of these sugar peas available. So if you don't have a fencing panel or a trellis to grow out of or grow up, you could definitely grow like the bush variety. That way you can have some fresh peas for your salad. But I'm gonna keep picking them so we can have some for supper tonight. That is what I love about having a garden. Spontaneous meals. Kind of walk outside and just kind of decide what you're gonna have. Well, it's gotten dark. I'm gonna go inside, cook supper for the family, but I will see you back here tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's the next day. I'm gonna be uncovering all these beds just to take a look, pull some weeds, and maybe even see if hopefully I have some cauliflower or broccoli starting ahead, maybe even some cabbage. Let's take a look. Well, it appears the garden has fared pretty well after its first freeze. Super excited about that. Kale, still growing, getting bigger. Cilantro. Kale and turnips over here, slow growing, but growing. The purple mustard greens are doing really good. Take a quick walk this way. As you can tell, the peas fared really well over the freeze, which we talked about that already. All right. Turnips growing slowly but surely. I even have like a random cilantro I put in. Tom thumb lettuce, cute little heads of it all throughout. It's romaine growing. The romaine lettuce is doing really well. So this year things can, or I say this year, this time of year, things continue to grow as far as your frost hardy vegetables and your cold weather vegetables. They continue to grow. They just kind of grow at a little bit slower rate, but still doing good. This is a romaine lettuce that I transplanted right before the freeze. It did really well. This excites me. These carrots grew so much. Look at that. They grew so much during that cold snap that we had, which it's been warm the past few days, and then it's gonna get cold again tomorrow. I'm hoping some of this broccoli is starting to head. Trying to be patient. Trying to be patient. Broccoli is definitely a slow going vegetable. But this broccoli that I transplanted is doing really good. Graffiti cauliflower and cabbage doing good. Try to get you up in here. I love the purple stems. They're so pretty. Brussels sprouts getting bigger. I just can't get over how much it grew while it was still underneath the cover. And look at this. This is the purple sharp-headed cabbage. Some more Brussels sprouts. Doing really well. Rutabagas. So I keep telling y'all, these are the ones I started by seed in a tray and transplanted. And then these little ones back here. And then there's some little tiny sprouts coming up, like right back in here, that I actually direct sowed into the dirt. So I've read that root vegetables, when you transplant them, they don't do the best in the world, and I agree, they don't seem to be growing like they should, but we're gonna let them keep growing and see what they do. These guys seem to be doing really well though. These are the ones that I sowed directly into the ground. So got a lot of those sprouting up. And this is the, what is this, kale? Yeah, that's the kale that I planted right here. And the cabbage. Cabbage is doing good. Cauliflower. The bigger ones are the snowball cauliflower. Get in here. Yeah, these are snowball cauliflower. This is what you're used to seeing, like the white-headed cauliflower. And then these over here, these little guys, are graffiti cauliflower, and they'll be purple. Radish are doing well all over there. These are the ones that I had covered with the bed sheet because I didn't have enough frost fabric to cover it. So I would uncover it during the day, cover it back up at the night, because the bed sheet don't let the light go through like the frost fabric does. But these guys stayed under the frost fabric. So those are the ones that I planted right before we got our first freeze. So they're doing really well. And back over to the carrots. I am tickled pink with how well the garden has done with its first freeze. And that guy right there, the basil, my one lone surviving plant. I carry it in and out every day when the temperatures are going to get pretty much below 50. I leave it sitting out here during the day to get some sunlight, and then at night when the temperatures are dipping down colder, particularly when it is getting towards the freezing temperatures, I take it in and I just set it in the laundry room back there so it will not freeze, because I am determined to keep this thing green and tasty for as long as possible. But basil does not like super cold weather. So I feel like when we have the freezing temperatures on a pretty regular basis, that, you know, it'll eventually end up dying. But I'm tickled with how good the garden has done over its first freeze. Covered in that frost fabric, it did really well. I'm still working to try to get some sort of hoop system or PVC support system, something built for to go over the lettuce and the carrots and the radish, just so the frost fabric isn't laying directly on top of it. It has a little bit of headspace there. But yeah, I'm excited. So like I've told you a dozen times before, I'm in Zone AA, Eastern North Carolina. We have, for most people, mild winters. It does freeze, it does get cold. We have like October, November, December, it fluctuates back and forth between the like freezing temps and your more milder temps of the 40 and 50 degrees overnight. So where we are, we can still grow some vegetables this time of year. Particularly root vegetables do really good. I just keep them covered, so if we do get another freeze, that it won't kill them off. Most of these are frost hardy, but even stuff that is frost hardy, once you get down into consistent freezing temperatures, they're not going to do the best in the world. But I'm tickled with how these are doing. But like I started to say, and I totally squirreled, you can grow vegetables throughout the winter time. You can grow them in containers and carry them inside, carry them back and forth inside and out like I'm doing the basil. But you can grow kale and things like that in a pot. So if you don't have land to plant stuff, you can plant containers, and it don't have to be fancy little flower pots. I mean, you can get a Country Crock butter container and just drill a few drainage holes in it and plant something in it and have your own little fresh lettuce or fresh kale. So give it a try and have you a little fresh salad over the winter time. It's not hard to do. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I guarantee you have most of the resources you need right there at home. You just need some seeds. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go get everything watered because it's not supposed to rain for like another 3 or 4 days. I'm gonna give it a nice little water and cover it back up. And then I'm gonna go up front and plant some daffodils because I love daffodils. I love daffodils. I love them very much. They bring back a very happy memory from my childhood with one of my grandmothers. So I'm going to plant these in our front garden bed, where I call the area of functional landscaping, because instead of a just random tree in our front yard, we have a peach tree, and it is quite beautiful and it provides food for our family. But I'm excited to plant these around the edge of the landscaping, so we'll have pretty flowers in the spring. Well, today's video is short and sweet, just a check up to see how the garden did from its first freeze, and it did great. I decided that I'm going to leave it uncovered tonight because the temperatures are only supposed to get into the 50s and there's a chance of rain. So I do want to leave it uncovered tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow night I will cover it up because it's supposed to get down into the 30s for the next few nights. So it won't take long to do that since I already have the structure in place. The hoops and stuff, I can just quickly throw the fabric back over top of it, put the sandbags back down, and then it'll be done. It won't take long at all. Like I said earlier, it's not too late if you want to have some fresh kale or fresh lettuce to get a few garden pots, or even just some containers you may have laying around the house. Drill a few holes in them for drainage and plant you some lettuce seeds or kale. Just protect it from the freeze when they're in the seedling form until they get a little bit more mature, and they'll do good, and you'll have some fresh veggies for the winter time. Oh yeah, and we decorated for Christmas. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a blessed day and come back to see me again.